I worked across 30 countries and 4 continents. I sat in boardrooms from the Middle East to Southeast Asia. I advised major organizations on talent and workforce systems. Then I arrived in Canada, and suddenly, none of it seemed to matter. No Canadian experience, no local network, no recognition of credentials I spent years building. But here is what I did not expect. The financial hit was worse than the professional one. In this video, I am going to show you exactly how much credential non-recognition actually costs, the hidden taxes of being a skilled immigrant, and the financial strategies I use to recover. I am Charles, MBA and CPHR, former HR leader in aerospace and oil and gas. Today, I lecture at 2 universities in Manitoba. Let us get into the numbers. Before Canada, you had a high-value financial profile. Let me show you what that meant in monetary terms. At my previous company, an aerospace and defense manufacturer and refinery, I led recruitment for over 2,500 employees. I reduced time to hire by 20%. In recruitment economics, that saved the company approximately $400,000 annually in vacancy carrying costs. I increased offer acceptance rates to 80%. The industry average is 62%. At a national oil company, I designed leadership programs that increased employee retention by 10%. For a large-sized organization, reducing turnover by 10% saves roughly $750,000 per year in separation and replacement costs. That figure comes from the Society for Human Resource Management's 2024 Talent Acquisition Benchmarking Report. I also hold an MBA, a postgraduate certificate in HR from the University of Manitoba, and I am a CPHR. On paper, I was $1 million asset to any employer, but Canada did not see it that way. Let me give you the exact financial penalty of being a skilled immigrant in Canada. According to Statistics Canada's 2023 longitudinal immigration database, skilled immigrants with pre-landing work experience earn 12 to 15% less than Canadian-born counterparts with equivalent credentials, and that gap persists for more than 10 years. Let me put that in real dollars. The median annual salary for an HR manager in Manitoba is approximately 95,000 Canadian dollars. A 15% penalty means I would earn just over 80,000. That is a loss of $15,000 per year. Over 10 years, that is $150,000, and that is just salary. There are 3 hidden financial drains most newcomers do not track. Number 1, credential recognition delays. A 2022 study in the Journal of International Migration and Integration found that these delays cost skilled immigrants an average of $15,000 to $25,000 per year in lost wages. Every year you wait for your credentials to be assessed, you lose the equivalent of a small car. Number 2, the survival job tax. Many immigrants take survival jobs below their skill level. The wage difference between a survival job at minimum wage and a professional role at $80,000 is approximately $55,000 per year. Over 2 years, that is $110,000 of foregone income. Number 3, pension and investment drag. Lower early career earnings permanently reduce your Canada Pension Plan contributions and your registered retirement savings plan room. A study by the C.D. Howe Institute in 2021 estimated that skilled immigrants lose an average of $160,000 in lifetime retirement wealth due to delayed labor market integration. Add those 3 together, you are looking at a lifetime wealth loss of nearly $500,000, and no one warns you about this. Most newcomers think Canadian experience means technical skills. It does not. Let me introduce you to a concept from Nobel Prize winning economist Michael Spence. It is called signaling theory. In the job market, employers cannot see your true productivity, So they rely on signals, a Canadian degree, a local employer reference, a familiar credential. Your 30 countries of experience are not a signal of quality in Canada. They are a signal of uncertainty. Here is what that means financially. Employers use applicant tracking systems that automatically reject resumes without Canadian postal codes. They filter out degrees from non-Canadian institutions. They prioritize local experience even when it is objectively inferior. This is not discrimination in the legal sense. It is statistical discrimination, a term economists use when employers rely on group averages to judge individuals. The average immigrant has lower Canadian-specific human capital. So employers assume you do too. The financial consequence? You have to oversignal. You need a Canadian credential, not because you need to learn, but because you need to signal. You need to rewrite your resume in Canadian business language, not because your achievements changed, but because the signal has to be readable. In my book reference for this video, The Cult of Efficiency by Janine Stein, the author argues that organizations optimize for convenience, not capability. Canadian hiring systems are convenient for people who already look Canadian on paper. Your job is to make yourself convenient. I lost money in my first 2 years in Canada. Yeah, let me be honest about that. But I also built a financial recovery plan. Here are the 4 strategic moves that worked. Strategy 1. I stopped applying online and started direct outreach. The hidden job market is real. I emailed hiring managers directly. 70% response rate compared to 2% on online applications. That reduced my job search from 9 months to 3. Financially, that saved me approximately $25,000 in foregone income. Strategy 2. I invested in a low-cost Canadian signal. I did not need another degree. I took a micro-credential from the University of Manitoba. Cost $8,000. Return. My resume stopped getting auto-filtered. Within 6 months, that credential paid for itself 10 times over. Strategy 3. I use my teaching role as a financial bridge. Adjunct lecturer at 2 universities gave me Canadian institutional trust. That role paid modestly, but it unlocked access to the university's retirement plan, health benefits, and professional network. The non-monetary value exceeded $50,000 per year. Strategy 4. I built a cross-border portfolio. I kept savings in US dollars and Canadian dollars. When the Canadian dollar weakened, I transferred funds from USD to CAD at a favorable rate. In 2024 alone, that currency hedge added approximately $5,000 to my net worth. The principle comes from Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. They call it wayfinding, testing small pivots instead of following a rigid plan. I tested, I measured, I kept what worked. Here is your financial playbook. 4 rules, no fluff. Rule 1. Build a Canadian credential bridge for under $2,000. A micro-credential, a certificate from a public college, even a LinkedIn learning course with the Canadian institution's logo. The cost is low. The signaling value is high. Rule 2. Calculate your survival job break even. Do not take a survival job unless you know exactly what it costs you. If you earn minimum wage for 6 months while searching for an $80,000 role, your opportunity cost is roughly $20,000. That is a calculation, not a feeling. Rule 3. Use remittance timing as an investment strategy. If you send money home regularly, track the exchange rate, transfer when the Canadian dollar is strong against the host currency. A 10% exchange rate improvement on $10,000 is $1,000 of free money. Set calendar reminders. Be patient. Rule 4. Network with financial intelligence. Do not network for jobs. Network for information about which employers value global experience. Some industries, logistics, healthcare, tech, are more open than others. A single referral from someone inside a company can increase your annual salary by 5 to 15%. That is documented in Who Gets What and Why by Nobel economist Alvin Roth. You do not need every employer to believe in you. You just need one. And you need to make sure that when they say yes, you have not already lost hundreds of thousands of dollars waiting. I am Charles. I lost money in the system. Then I learned how the system actually works. This channel is my way of giving you the financial and career playbook I wish I had. Now here's what I want from you. Drop the country you're watching from and tell me one money or work struggle you're dealing with right now. I read every single comment, and if I can give you a specific piece of advice based on what I learned the hard way, I will. If this video helped, like and subscribe. See you then.